2, 1. Hey everybody, this is Gary K. I'm excited to be coming to you live. This is our only second live rAVe TV broadcast in the history of our company. I'm excited to be coming to you because the Enterprise Connect show is going on right now in Orlando, Florida. This is the ultimate and the industry's only UCC dedicated show. And we have a team down in Orlando shooting videos at every single booth. You can follow our coverage at ravepubs.com/EC2019 for Enterprise Connect. This is sponsored by Panicast, Altia Systems, who makes the Panicast camera. They're also part of GN Audio, Jabra. You know them as Jabra. And we're going to talk a lot about all this today, and we're going to get a great demo about what we talked about yesterday, the Panicast 3 camera's capability, and the 2 cameras capability of people counting and AI, and it's going to be awesome. So first, I want to thank everyone for joining me. Jacob, you're doing a great job down there in Orlando. Wave to everybody. There's Jacob. He's an assistant editor of rAVe Publications. rAVe, you started all this. This is your company, your baby, Panicast, that product. What an incredible product. Congratulations.
Great to be here, Gary. Thank you.
And you've got Zarina sitting next to you. She's handled all the marketing of this. Fantastic. I'm so excited to be doing this. I want to have you go around the table. I have everyone go around the table down in Orlando. You're down in Orlando. If you could introduce yourselves, that would be greatly helpful.
I'll pass it off. Mary Kahn, Manager of HR and Finance at Panicast. Jabra.
I'm Mark Derby, Vice President of Sales for North America with GN Audio.
Hi, Ian Scott, VP of Sales Operations for Jabra, GN Audio.
And Jacob, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, and I'm Jacob Blunt. I'm the assistant editor of rAVe Publications, and I'm down here supporting our coverage of Enterprise Connect.
Let me tell you something. I will stop right now because this is a combination of Panicast and GN Audio making this work. Because whatever the audio system you've got on the desk there, it sounds like everyone's sitting right up against the microphone. So I'll give you a chance to tell us about that product too. You're in Cupertino. Yeah. John's in Cupertino. Wave, John. Say hello to everybody. And John's got a table around him. Tell us about who's sitting around that table with you.
Yeah, I'm John Zhang, by the way. I'm the Senior Platform Architect at Jabra, and I have a few colleagues with me, and here they are.
That was very clever.
That's the Panicast 3 at work right there. This is my favorite video conferencing camera for this type of an application. I actually use one of these in my classroom at the University of North Carolina. I actually have 2 of them in my classroom at the University of North Carolina. And I do it for 2 purposes. The students that are not in class, that miss class because they're sick or traveling, they can join in class and watch. And I take attendance this way because it's a 4K camera, so I can zoom in and look at the tent cards of everybody there when I'm traveling, take attendance that way. So I love it. Tell me, what is that microphone that you have on the table there? Which Jabra product is that?
It's actually a speakerphone. It's the Jabra Speak 710.
Sounds great. It sounds great.
It's perfect companion, right? It works very nicely.
Yeah, so Aurangzeb, we left off yesterday talking about the AI capabilities of the Panicast system, and we kind of talked about how it's more than a camera. It's really like an AI system in a box, right? I mean, it's a camera, but you need that camera to detect people and objects and things that are going on. It's the ultimate platform for AI, right?
Exactly, Gary. And I think today it's going to be exciting to have Ted and Ram, John, and Naveed share that with you. But as you know, we have 3 cameras, and these are very high resolution 13 megapixel cameras, each one of them. We synchronize stitch and optimize them to give you this seamless 180 view. So however, in addition, they also act as data sensors. And I think I'm going to pass it over to John and team now to kind of show you all of that magic.
Yeah, we have different level of API, different level of AI capability built into our camera and on the host. And the first thing is we have the AI capability inside the camera, and everything running the low power mode, and it sees everything all the time, even when the people try to zoom in and the video streaming shows only a portion of the camera, and the camera itself still sees the whole room, and it can figure out all the
point. So even though we're seeing the visual that the camera's focused on, whether you're zoomed in and out, because you're getting a 180-degree view. Let's say we only want a 70-degree angle. The camera is still capturing the 180, so it's still able to monitor everything else going on in the room. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's actually one advantage of our camera. A lot of people, they're running host-based analytics, and when the camera zooms in, they actually lose a view of the whole room. And with the camera-based AI, we actually always keep the 180-degree field of view, even though the representation, the showing or streaming is only part of the view. And everything runs on screen low power, and our camera can be powered by most of the laptop without any external power. So we run on our power budget, and it can do all the face detection on the camera itself. And I will let Osman show us a demo. And right now we have 4 people in the room, and the demo will show a square on each of our face. And that's how the camera is seeing and where each face is. And we can actually export the data through the API so that third-party applications can call into our camera to see where the faces are. And as you can see, I think all of the face detection today is not 100% reliable. And we developed the algorithm, we added into some temporal filtering. And if there is a false positive inside the camera, and through our API, we actually can figure out that this is false positive. And eventually, we only return the real faces detected by the camera.
Now, what's key here is that we talked about this yesterday. If you don't mind turning that off real quick so that I can get everyone back on the screen, full screen. One of the things, we're doing this by Zoom, and Zoom is awesome because it automates this whole process switching. But when you switch to an external port like that, it takes over the screen. The thing that's interesting, I think, that or should be pointed out is that even though we're detecting the people, we don't know who these people are. It's anonymized data that can be used for things like room occupancy, for control, potentially for AI recognition of a function that somebody wants to do repetitively. That's the kind of applications we're talking here, right, Aurangzeb?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for saying that, Gary. Yes, we take people's privacy very seriously, and indeed, there are no images stored. It detects the facial pattern and creates a numeric count, and that's all it does. So, you know, it doesn't really invade anybody's privacy.
So we were just talking about Zoom, and Jacob, Zoom's on the show floor there, and they're making a big push in their cloud-based services. I mean, they're in a number of booths. They have their own booth. They're in the Polycom booth, the Logitech booth, a bunch of digital signage booths because they also have their digital signage delivery system there as well. They have an executive office set up there. What's the response? I mean, there is some competition now. There's other companies that are trying to compete with Zoom, but really Zoom's still dominating that space, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the Zoom booth has been super busy this entire time. I would go and take a couple of pictures and I would feel myself navigating between people. But yes, they're partnering with Polycom and Logitech. Their digital signage built in with scheduling displays from both Extron and Crestron. Tons of awesome stuff happening there. They also released a Zoom phone earlier on for this show, and that's another large part of their booth. But if you're down here at Enterprise Connect and you're watching live from Orlando, I highly recommend going to it. But if you do want to see more about Zoom and you're not joining us live here in Orlando, I definitely recommend checking out some of the product videos that we shot in the Zoom booth.
Yeah,
can I add?
Yeah, go ahead, Zeb, go ahead.
We do a lot of work with Zoom, and in fact, when you buy a PanaCast, you plug it into a Zoom room. Special screens show up on their console that are activating and controlling the PanaCast devices. And of course, we have the great success story with Uber. At over 850 Zoom rooms deployed around the world already last October. So they've been doing great work and really partnering very closely with us also with our major enterprise customers.
Certainly.
And what's amazing is that for those of you who are watching this stream, we're literally connecting 3 sites simultaneously across Zoom with the bandwidth that comes into our laptop computers here. So that's pretty incredible. And with one little asterisk, because I'm used to paying the high price of having bandwidth at a trade show floor, that's the bandwidth down there. That's the bandwidth that you pay for when you go to a hotel and do a big conference center. So this is amazing how good this actually looks. I want to get back to some of the features in this in the AI capabilities of this camera, because in addition to facial detection, John or Aurangzeb, whoever wants to take this question, there's the object detection too. And the object detection could do some really cool things. And I kind of alluded to some of the things that I kind of thought of, like gesture control, or basically the system itself controlling the room based on automation of seeing objects in the room. How deeply are you thinking about that, and what capabilities do you have right now?
Yeah, let me let John give you a look first where we are, and also at the advanced people detection, and then we'll dig into what's on the horizon coming up.
So go for it, John.
Yeah, so we just showed the camera-based face detection. It has some limitation. One limitation is the working distance can only be up to 12 feet. It's really good for small huddle room and maybe medium-sized room. But if when people you try to use it in bigger room, and then we developed the advanced people detection. We worked in collaboration with Intel, and we developed the host-based algorithm. It can detect distance up to 40 feet, and it can detect also orientation of different head orientation. Your back can be facing the camera, and the algorithm can still be able to pick up there is a person actually there.
So it recognizes that the back of the head is still a head, in other words.
Yep.
Exactly. And then part of the face can be occluded by maybe another person in front of you, and the algorithm can, by looking at the partial of the display of the face, can figure out there is actually another person there.
Yeah, we're actually seeing that demonstrated on the screen right now. That's a really neat feature. I want to ask rAVe, sort of what's the next step? I mean, you've obviously launched some of the feature set of this, but obviously it's a lot more powerful than what you've alluded to from public launches, from the way I look at things. But where are you right now in that process, and what do you feel comfortable talking about?
Yeah, I think, the first part is just exactly what you're seeing here with people detection and counting. We've got companies like our partners, AVT in Australia, Extron here, a number of companies that are building services where they're using the data sensor capacity to automate workflows. Like, imagine any big company with thousands of collaboration spaces. We can tell if a space is not in use and automatically cancel the reservation through Microsoft Exchange or, Gmail. And so open up that resource and make it available. They can also do the converse, where if a room is open, somebody's using it, it'll start blocking it off in 15-minute increments. We heard today a keynote from Microsoft talking about, big data and data lakes of information, and we are enabling exactly that, because you can, through our API, data log, literally as frequently as every second. That may be an overkill. So let's say every X minutes, or every time there's a step change in the number of people, store that data, and then go back and do seasonality and pattern analysis on how real estate is being used. And think about how many billions of dollars are spent in equipping real estate. And if you can improve that utilization just even a little bit, that's real money to the company, to the profitability and the bottom line of the company. Not to say enough about, just how satisfied people are with the experience and how good they feel about being engaged in that immersive way. Now, object detection is the immediate next thing. And the cool thing about that is, I think John and team are going to take publicly trained AI, something we haven't spent time or money training, something that is trained on conventional data sets for non-distorting single cameras, and literally take that, and instead of it working only over a portion of the field, like 60 or 70 degrees, it'll work across the full 180, right? And that just goes to the power of a multi-camera array, which, intrinsically is a non-distorting approach to people. People look normal wherever they are. We've been showing that all across the floor today. John, I don't know if you're set up or if you can demo that right now.
Well, we don't have the object detection demo ready. I think it has to run on different platforms.
Is it possible we could demo that tomorrow? We're going to do this same broadcast tomorrow at 7 p.m. again tomorrow. Could we ask you to have that available tomorrow? What do you think?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, that'd be good. I want to ask a quick question of the gentlemen in the room that are from Jabra, because obviously this is all about partnerships, right? I mean, you're selling a camera, but you're obviously partnering with a tremendous number of companies, providing them an enormous amount of data. That logical partnership with you being a video company needing an audio company wasn't an accident, right? I mean, this was a very calculated move on Jabra's part, right? Because it's an area of each other that the two companies needed each other.
Exactly. We've been out looking for the right folks to work with from an audio point of view, and it really was these two trains running in parallel to each other. And even at CES, Jabra introduced this great product which uses AI to discern the soundscape and automatically adjust the audio performance. Right? And we love that because, as you know about our technology, that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to use technology to make the experience better rather than fiddling with controls and things of that kind, right? And, as you know, we've been doing some early work with sentiment detection, reading emotion and so on. And I've been learning about how audio similarly is being used to do that, right? And so that's very exciting because now you can improve kind of a multimodal analysis. You can improve the quality of your results from understanding it from two different vantage points.
Yeah, what do you think? Don't we think will we see some partnership products and some system approach of combining Jabra products with the Panicast products in a package?
Of course. I mean, GN Audio Jabra, our brand, has obviously made a fairly decent investment in partnering with, the assistant Panagas guys. So clearly, we need to do a lot with that investment. So yeah, watch this space. It's very early days. We're just joining forces, as it were. But I think this year and into next year, we'll start to show a lot more that's under the hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get some hints there. I hear some hints. I hear some logical, but you've already got a lot of partners. Two of the partners that Jacob went by and saw today were Extron and Logitech. He already talked about Extron a little bit, but obviously Extron, you mentioned, rAVe, what are Extron's doing. Jacob, when you went by their booth, what else did they have at the show floor that's applicable to the UC market when you went by the Extron booth?
Yeah, certainly. So also in the Extron booth, they had their room scheduling displays and the integration with, rAVe said, the G Suite, and then the Microsoft Exchange. They also were featuring their collaboration spaces with their teamwork software, their ShareLink Pro, and then their connections with some other partners in the UC space. We've mentioned Zoom a couple of times, and then Dolby and Cisco Audio as well.
Did they have their adjustable soundbar that I mentioned to you offline yesterday, the SB? And what was the response to that? Because I think that's a great opportunity for a partnership there for Panicast.
Yeah, I mean, great response to it in the Extron booth. They built it into their teamwork collaboration space. And like you said, it's an adjustable soundbar, so it moves in and out. And it sits either below or top of the display that's a part of the collaboration space, and fits with the adjustableness to the width of the display.
And rAVe, I don't know, did you have a chance to go by and see the Logitech Tap system? Because that's getting a tremendous play in the industry.
I haven't seen it, but they came by and they talked about it, and they were admiring the quality of what's happening with Panicast 3. So we're going to go over there and admire their capable products.
Well, I mean, you already partner with them on other projects. I mean, obviously, they make a lot of products that everyone uses. You're all USB-based companies. I mean, as John pointed out, all you have to do is plug a Panicast 3 into a USB port, and it comes alive. You don't have to do anything special. You don't have to power it from an external power source. Jacob, did Logitech show the integration with Hangouts and Microsoft Teams and Zoom, or are they just focusing on one of those?
So they showed all three, and they also featured a small meeting space, a medium meeting space, and a large meeting space. And then we definitely talked about the connection between the Logitech Tap and Extron Control, which is a new release and something that both companies are really excited about.
Yeah, Extron, they partnered with that and made that with Extron, the Tap. By the way, yesterday, I'm going to ask Jacob to do the same thing for those of you who weren't watching yesterday. Jacob, it's time for you to make your rounds around the room, because I want them to see how big this room actually is and how this 180-degree camera works. But I want you to also talk from the corner. I want you to say hello from the corner back there.
Yeah, I'm in the corner. Hello.
Yeah, I mean, okay, what is that speakerphone on the table? What is that?
We're going to hold it up. It's doing a great job.
You're fantastic.
What is it? What's it called?
710.
That's the Speak 710. Yeah.
That is, for a small little device. That's pretty amazing. And is that a new product? Is that a product you've had a while?
No, we've had that a while. This whole story with Panicast is GN. If you look at GN Group, we have medical grade audio, hearing aid business. We have professional grade. We have a very large enterprise audio business, speakerphones and headsets. And we have a very now successful consumer grade business. We are an audio company. Yeah. And with the addition of Panicast, we're adding that video component. We have some of the best audio engineers in the world, and bring that together with the talent of the Panicast team. We're going to do some pretty disruptive things, I think, next week before.
Any hints?
Some of them, yes.
Any hints?
Yeah, I'm sure you've got a couple of companies there on the show floor that would love to know what you're about to do. I can think of one that combined with another one that's probably really interested. But in any case, for those of you who didn't see our video cast from yesterday, our live rAVe TV broadcast, you can actually watch it in the archive section of our site at ravepubs.com/TV, or you can go to the Enterprise Connect site. If you take a look at that address right there, ravepubs.com/EC2019, that's where you can find all of our coverage of the Enterprise Connect show. rAVe, come back tomorrow and show us some of the other features that you have there. Did I miss anything? Did I get it? Zarina, is there anything I need to make sure I cover? Because because I want to make sure that that everyone gets a chance to talk about what they wanted to talk about, because there's a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah, I think just the final thing I'd say is if the Cupertino team wants to add anything in, and I just want to add in huge thanks to our Cupertino team for joining us and for really demoing this technology. We miss you guys. I wish you were here with us. But thanks to Panicast and Jabra, you can be. So
right.
if you guys have anything you want to add, other than that, I don't have anything else. I don't think rAVe does either. I don't know.
No, we're good.
I think
Pleasure
we're
to
good.
be with you all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Go
I
ahead.
have one thing. I don't know if you have seen the whiteboard sharing and collaborations, because that is also a neat, it's also AI-based solution.
Maybe
part of
if you have a chance to show that off. By the way, you know, Gary, Microsoft in their keynote today, we're talking about whiteboard and whiteboard sharing with a special device. And I think we can certainly help them just use one device, which is both providing audio and video data and the whiteboard as a second stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they just probably don't know about that. Someone's got to do some work and let Microsoft know that you have that all-in-one product right now. We actually did a great demo of that feature, I don't know, probably about 6 months or so ago. But right there behind you, what's cool, and you know, it looks not impressive until you think about what's going on. The screen above, you see a whiteboard. It looks like a normal rectangle, but think about that. That's 3 cameras that are seaming that together, so it's not distorted. And I think the key factor there is that things aren't distorted. Normally, when you have a widescreen camera, you get this Panavision view. The edges are very distorted. Things that are round look oval, and things that are square look like oblong almost. So, so this is pretty amazing. I mean, you're demoing it right there by just having it behind you. I love the fact that you also had props in there to show us the facial recognition.
Yep. Well, thank you, Gary. This was great. And we'll look forward to thinking up tomorrow with you and showing off the other technologies.
And we can show whiteboard again and then show. Yeah.
Yeah, I think showing us whiteboarding again, and I'll also link to that in the description of this live TV cast as well. But Jacob, thanks for the work you're doing down there. Thanks, rAVe, for your team. Like I said, you've been watching our live TV broadcast from Enterprise Connect. You can see all of our coverage at ravepubs.com/EC2019. A big giant thank you to Panicast for sponsoring this live broadcast from the show floor. Literally, the team down there is in Orlando. The team over there is in Cupertino, California, and I'm here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and have a great day.
All the best. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, guys.